Good morning, boys and girls.
Good morning, Pastor.
Oh, that was pretty good, but let's do it a little better. Maybe you're a little tired this morning. You ready? Good morning, boys and girls.
Good morning.
Oh, that's great. Let's stand and we'll present the colors here this morning on Wednesday of Wonderworld Bible School. Pledge to the American flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. My country, 'tis of thee. Sing it now. My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty. Of thee I sing, land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride, from every mountainside, let freedom ring. The pledge to the Christian flag. I pledge allegiance to the Christian flag and to the Savior for whose kingdom it stands, one Savior, crucified, risen, and coming again, with life and liberty to all who believe. Onward, Christian soldiers, onward, Christian soldiers, marching as to war, with the cross of Jesus going on before. Christ the royal master against a foe, forward into battle, see his banners go. Let me hear it now. Onward, Christian soldiers, marching to war, with the cross of Jesus going on before. Now the pledge to the Bible. I pledge allegiance to the Bible, God's holy word. I will make it a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. I will hide its words in my heart, that I might not sin against God. The B-I-B-L-E. The B-I-B-L-E. Yes, that's the book for me. I stand alone on the Word of God, the B-I-B-L-E. Good job, boys and girls. Every head bowed, every eye closed. Let's ask God's blessing. Lord, would you bless today? Thank you for wonderful days already, and may this be the best yet. Would you be honored and glorified, we pray. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, what did it say? Sit down. Good job. Let's see if you can practice again, because what's on Friday night? The final episode of Wonderworld, and we want your parents and friends and relatives here, and we're going to do the theme song for them on Friday night. We've got the bounce houses will be out. We've got special refreshments, and we got a great night planned. And so tell your family about it right even today and plan for that, but we want to practice now. So let's act like it's already Friday night. Listen closely to... I'm not sure that would be very impressive. Let's try it again. Wait. You ready? Oh, very good. A little slow in the back there, but other than that, we're doing okay. Everyone can come to Wonderworld. Let's hear you now. Everyone can come to Wonderworld. Everyone can join the fun for boys and girls. Laboratories to explore, Bible stories here and more. Your adventure is in store at Wonderworld. Everyone can come to Wonderworld. Everyone can join the fun for boys and girls. Wonderworld! That was a great start. Wow, you have really learned that. Let's try it one more time. So let's give it your best now. You ready? Everyone can come to Wonderworld. Everyone can join the fun for boys and girls. Laboratories to explore, Bible stories to more. Your adventures in store at Wonderworld. Everyone can come to Wonderworld. Everyone can join the fun for boys and girls. Wonderworld! Good job. All right, they will think that is great. Well, boys and girls, lots going on here in the lab at Wonderworld up in the space station. So everybody be real quiet and let's see if Wonderworld will come alive.
Good morning, boys and girls. Welcome back to the space station.
I'm just beyond excitement, Dr. Faraday. There's so many guests and special visitors here on board. There's legendary Captain Cosmo and the Space Rangers and those space tourists
Miss Moonpie, what's wrong?
none of the guests seem to like my cooking.
Boys and girls, let's show some sympathy for Miss Moonpie. When I say 1, 2, 3, everyone would say, poor Miss Moonpie. Got it? Okay. 1, 2, 3, poor Miss.
Well, that's the nicest thing anyone's ever done for me.
Don't worry, I'll help you. We'll fix up something really special for everybody today. Yeah. It'll be great.
Oh, legendary Captain Cosmo.
Yes, all right.
Lieutenant Lightspeed.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for helping secure that valuable canister in the ship's hold. No problem. I believe it'll be safe there this whole time. And while Dr. Faraday repairs our computer systems, thank you, sir. Oswald,
Yeah,
are you in suspense?
I am.
Okay. Did you want to know what's in that canister? Did you want to ask Dr.
I do.
Kaplan?
Sorry about that.
Okay, yeah.
Wow, you've kept me in great suspense, Dr. Kepler.
Yes.
I suppose what's in the canister is top secret? If you told me you'd have to kill me?
Or give you some of that space paste. That would do it.
I don't mind telling you. In fact, I need your help in keeping the canisters safe.
That's what we're hearing.
Here in the Wonder Lab, we discovered a way to refine the galaxy's most powerful element. An element known as cranium.
Cranium? Cranium is the rarest element in the galaxy. It's very useful for scientific exploration and experimentation. just a little bit and we could make some tremendous advances in science.
This is true. That is why we are sending our cranium with you back to Earth. Because it is very attractive to the mad scientist, Dr. Discord, and his nasty assistants.
We must make sure we are well armed.
Yes.
Make sure we are well defended if they show up.
They will do
I have
anything.
I have my trusty space laser gun.
Ah, yes, and I also have my deadly plasma ray gun.
And I have my pink pool noodle.
A pool noodle?
Yeah.
But that's not a deadly weapon, Oswald.
You've never seen my sister use one.
Don't worry, Kepler. Your cranium is safe in that impenetrable hole. No one will be able to get there. And remember, only Robo knows the password.
Oh, yes.
It's a 3,000-digit password, too, so no one's going to get it.
By the way, where is Robo? I haven't seen him all day. He's usually right here on the bridge telling everyone what they should and should not do.
Uh-oh.
Come here, Robo,
I hear
you
ominous
little
music.
electronic bag of junk. We are going to make a hero out of you.
I shall never assist you, never.
Move along. The last thing we'd want to do is hurt you.
But it is on our list.
Look, there's a space tourist. So what are they doing with Robo?
Hey, wait a minute. Those aren't space tourists. I recognize them from their wanted poster. It's the mad scientist!
That's right, the mad scientist, as advertised. And we are the universe's greatest geniuses. Me too.
Yeah, just check us out on Facebook.
Dr. Kepler, we have come for what's in your cranium, in the canister, and we're not leaving without it.
But our impenetrable space hole is, well, impenetrable.
Yeah.
You can't unlock it.
So there.
Don't unlock it. Robo unlock it.
I will never unlock it. That would be extremely illogical.
Oh, Robo, our wonderful metallic friend. You are such a fine robot. And we wouldn't want anything to happen to you. So, at that point,
You are incorrect, sir. I am not a robot. I am this vessel's personal artificial intelligence nanny. I said that yesterday and the day before that and the day before that, and I say that every day. I am programmed to assist those on board in performing their duties.
Ah, very good point.
Stay strong.
You are there to assist others with their duty and to get them to accomplish their duty. Well, we are mad scientists. Our duty is to plunder this vessel.
That's right.
And your duty is to help us do it.
Well, when you state it that way,
Yes, it's written right in our bylaws. And you will help us to do it, right? Because that
No,
is
Robo.
exactly what you should do is
No.
to help us accomplish our duty. Right?
I must assist them doing their duty.
Go to it, Robo.
No, Robo! No! Don't do it!
Disastrous.
No, he's really doing it.
5, 6, 7.
No, Robo.
Wow.
Whoa!
Oh boy.
Oh, he lost his head.
Don't lose your head over it. Oh no.
It's mine, all mine! Technically speaking, yes. You're dead! Out of the way!
Oswald, get up!
Oswald,
Go! Get them, Oswald!
I'm okay right here. It's best for everybody. Oswald!
They're coming back! Do something!
What, me?
Good work, my boy!
just hope I didn't hurt anybody.
Yeah, you're good. Our cranium was safe.
Well, Dr. Kepler, you have saved your cranium for now, but you haven't seen the last of Dr. Discord. I'll be back.
Space Rangers, let's go keep this safe from these guys.
Oh, poor Robo. Are you okay? Let's go take care of you.
Boys and girls, will the mad scientists come back? Read tomorrow to find out what happens on the Wonder Lab space station.
You got your smiles on here this morning. How many of you have got your smile ready? Did you bring a friend today? Did you remember to brush your teeth? Who remembered to brush your teeth? I sure hope you're next to someone who has brushed their teeth this morning here. Let's see here. Here's a young man. There's a toothbrush for you. Let's see here. Who else? A young lady. There you go, young lady. I've got a special gift here this morning. I haven't even had these this week here. Here are a couple of planets. Let's see here. Another good reason to smile. There you go. All right, let's see here. Some more flying planets. There you go. All right. Okay, so it's time to smile. Now, in just a moment, I want to just let you all know we're going to have our elemental explosion, our competition between the boys and the girls on who can bring in the most rocks and so forth, the gemstones, the silver block, and the gold brick. Right now, the boys are ahead, 2 days to none, I believe. So ladies, girls, it's if you haven't yet got your brick or your block, gemstones, it's not too late. You can slip out into that lobby and get ready in a moment. The girls can have a comeback here this morning. All right, John 1 and verse 3, our memory verse for the day. All things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made. Can you quote that with me? All things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made. What do we learn from that verse? That Jesus is the creator who made everything. And he has made some amazing creatures. Yesterday, our scientists showed us some amazing ones. Here's a couple of them. I want to find out which is your favorite this morning. First of all, we have the pink fairy armadillo. This one is so small, it actually could fit in the palm of your hand. It lives in sandy areas of South America and actually has the ability to swim through sand. The pink fairy armadillo looks kind of like a blend of a lobster and a caterpillar or something like that. Now here's another one. This is so cool, the star-nosed mole. It actually has 25,000 sensors and it can actually detect earthquakes. It can also smell underwater by blowing bubbles into the water and sucking those bubbles back in and somehow smelling. I don't know how that works. So this morning, what is your favorite? Is your favorite the pink fairy armadillo or the star-nosed mole? All right, we'll find out on a cheer here on 3. Which is your favorite? First of all, the armadillo. 1, 2, 3, armadillo. All right, now for the mole, star-nosed mole. 1, 2, 3, mole. Oh, that was really close. We'll have to try one more time. Ready? 1, 2, 3, armadillo. Okay, 1, 2, 3, mole. I can't decide. I guess we'll have to have a tie this morning on that one. Well, we want to welcome today all the moms. It's Mom's Day. Let's see all the moms in the back. Thank you, moms, for coming. Some of you maybe for the first time because one of your kids invited. Let's have a round of applause for the moms. So we've got a special day for you ladies, and we're really glad that you came. And if you did come at the invitation of one of the children, thank you very much. And you earned them triple points in our contest. In fact, we're earning Wonder Points every day, 100 points when you come, 100 points for a visitor, 300 points for your mom today. And you're going to be able to spend those points at the daily fair on Friday. There's a bronze prize, silver, gold prize for 600 points, platinum prize for 1,000. I think some of you are getting close to that. All right, let's find out today who is our king and queen of Wonderworld for Wednesday, day number 3 here at Bible School. Let's start with our queen of the day. Our queen for today in Wonderworld is Miss Lydia Zettler. Where is Lydia? Where is Lydia? Come right on down. I know you're working hard. We've got all sorts of special prizes for you this morning. You are our queen. Here is your certificate. Here's an envelope filled with all sorts of prize coupons from Robert's Custard and Cousins, McDonald's, Burger King. Sound pretty good? All right, there's your envelope. There is a brand new Testament. You want to choose your soda there. And here is a very cool geode. You break that open. Inside there is a shining gemstone. Let's smile here, our queen today. There we go. All right. Let's hear it for Queen Lydia. There we go. And now our king for day number 3 here at Wonderworld is Mr. Jared Munt. Where is Jared? There he is. Come right on down, Mr. Jared. Good work. All right. Here is your certificate. There's your prize envelope. There's your Bible. Choose your soda. And here is that very cool geode to break open, discover what's inside. Smile, our King Jared here today. Good job. There we go. All right. There you go. All right. Good job, Jared. Now, on Friday night, let's talk about Friday night just a moment. Friday night, we're going to give away the king and queen of the entire week. And I have got with me here a Bible story, a kid's study Bible. We're going to give this away to the boy and the girl, the king and the queen, who have brought the most visitors all week. We're also going to give away a book by our scientist, Bruce Malone, Explore the World. This will be given away to the boys and girls actually today for being here at Bible School. In a minute, that our brother Malone's going to actually tell you about a book he's given away to everyone today. So I'm glad that you have come to this day. Now, on Friday night, let's just talk about, before we get to Friday night, tomorrow is a very special day. Tomorrow is Dad's and Granddad's Day. So today's Mom's Day, yesterday was Grandmom's, tomorrow is Dad's and Granddad's. So I've got to give you an assignment. Kids, as you go home, you have to find your dad, your stepdad, granddad, maybe uncle who agree to be kind of your granddad for the day and come with you to Bible School at Wonderworld tomorrow. You got to tell them this: Dad, granddad, uncle, when you come, they have for you an absolutely free, all-you-can-eat, mouth-watering, thirst-quenching, hunger-filling, free lunch buffet for all the men at Wonderworld. Do you think it might get your dad's attention? Absolutely. Drool will come out the corners of his mouth, his eyes will roll back, and he'll faint thinking a dream has come true. And you say, Dad, it's not a dream. It's actually true. It's tomorrow. There is such a thing as a free lunch. And it's at Wonderworld Thursday. Tomorrow, Dad's and Granddad's Day. So make sure you get them to come with you. They can drive in, ride the bus, doesn't matter. Just tell them to get here to Wonderworld, our special program for all the men. Now, our finale for Wonderworld is Friday night. Today's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday night, 2 days from today at 7 o'clock right back here. We'll have our final presentation by our scientist, Mr. Bruce Malone. We will have the final episode of Wonderworld, what happens on the space station. There'll be ice cream and cookies. All the fair games and inflatables will be there. We'll have a special gift for all of you kids who come. So bring your parents. If you're coming in on the buses do not drive, do not run Friday night. You have to tell your parents, drive me to church. Get me to Falls Baptist. You come on in. It's our final episode, Friday night, our finale. So you want to make sure you get here for Friday night. All right, we're coming up on some various special things today. Our Creation Cinema, our Discovery Lab. How many of you are enjoying the Discovery Lab with Dr. Kojima? And have you seen some things like explode? Have you seen some things shoot sky high? I think some special plans are around today or tomorrow. You don't want to miss the Discovery Lab each of these final days. And of course, our Answers for Life sessions. Ron Visser's teaching has been amazing for the adults. We'll have another session like that here this morning. We're glad for everyone who's putting these special things together. Well, okay, now it's time for our element explosion, the contest between boys and girls. I hope you brought your coal rocks and gemstones and silver blocks and gold bricks, because we're going to find out right now who is going to win.
All right. We're going to see who's going to win today. The boys have 2. The girls have nothing. Are the girls going to make a comeback today? Who's going to win today? The girls or the boys? All right. Boys and girls only come when your department is called. Let's start with primary 3. Primary 3. Primary 3. Primary 3. Okay, now let's go to Junior 4. Junior 4. Junior 4. Junior 4. Now, primary 2. Primary 2. Primary 2. Primary 2. Okay, primary 2. Primary 2. All right, let's see who's ahead right now. The girls are ahead. All right, let's see what happens here now. Let's go to primary 1. Primary 1. Primary 1. You come on up. Good job, primary 1. Primary 1. Okay, now, junior 5. Junior 5. Junior 5. Junior 5. And junior 6. Junior 6. Junior 6. Okay, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be close. Are you ready? The winner for Wednesday of the elemental explosion goes to the girls. Won it. The girls came back. They won it. They won it big. Even with this one, girls still won. All right, congratulations. So how many do the boys still have? 2, but the girls now have 1. Girls, are you going to tie it tomorrow? Are you going to tie it tomorrow? Or boys, are you going to go ahead? Who's going to win tomorrow? Well, you come prepared. Congratulations, girls. That was a great job. All right. Before we have our speaker, I want to just mention one special thing to you boys and girls, if I can have your attention here. Today's a very special day for my family, and I'd like to share that with you. So if we could have it real quiet. We had our second child, whose name is Wayne, was diagnosed at 2.5 years of age with a massive brain tumor the size of my fist. Little 2.5-year-old boy. He was just a cute little fella. And he had a major operation and a major brain surgery. They obviously couldn't get all of it. It took 2 weeks, and we had another brain surgery. But the fact of it was no one had ever lived. But as you see in this picture, he did live. He graduated from kindergarten. He helped with a special recording. There he is graduating from college, and there's the doctor that said I'd come to his college graduation if God healed him. 6 months after he had the first surgery, all the tumor was gone when they took the CAT scan. And so God still does wonders, even for us. And so ladies, we have a story we'll give you and the men in your workshops about what God did, and I trust it'll be a blessing to you. So if, my son, who is now today 45 years old, if you understand, Wayne, let's give him a round of applause. All right. I just wanted to share that. It happened he was born during Bible school, and this was, so we just couldn't help but mention this, and you got to see some of the pictures. Have you enjoyed scientist Bruce Malone? Yeah, let's give him a big hand as he comes back. We're glad to have him here.
Good morning. Lots of stuff to play with today. All right, we'll get all set up, and you're going to bring my other cart full of things, and I'm going to plug things in, and then we'll get started with science and experiments. Okay, we should have this back up. I've got to, hang on, I've got to restart things. One moment. Okay. This is Wednesday. Huh. Wow. This is not good. There it is. Okay, one moment. I've got to fix something and then we'll get started. All right, we're going to start. You can pull that up. Good. We're going to talk about what we've learned so far. On Monday, we talked about how God gave us science so that we could look at how things that He made work, and we would know He exists. That light, matter, and everything we can see and touch couldn't have made itself. No scientist has ever even made a single atom ever appear or disappear. So we know it couldn't have made itself. Yesterday, we looked at all these amazing animals that can turn their heart off so that sharks won't eat them and then go swimming for 20 minutes. Animals that the smallest animal God made with 8 legs, you can't squish it and kill it. You can't boil it. You can't freeze it. You can't take away the air. You can't have radiation. You can't dry it out. You just can't kill this little animal. He's so amazing. And animals like slugs that made this really stretchy stuff you can put over cuts and seal up the cuts, so then we can learn from creation. And God did all that, again, so we will know He's the one who did it, and we can learn from it. Today, we're going to talk about, could all these different animals and everything that's alive, could it have made itself? Now, before we do that, we always have a question. And by the way, all of those animals that we've talked about and all the different things that God has done, I've written 4 books where every day of the year, on January 1st all the way through December 31st, you can read about those same sort of things I'm showing you. And every one of your parents, your family, is going to get one of these books. And it's for you kids to read, and your parents will read them to you at night or at mealtime. And each day there's just a really fun thing to learn about creation, what God has done. So tonight on your way out, each family, each parent, make sure you pick up a book. And on the bus, we'll pass out the books to the kids on the bus. One for each family. Now, the questions I'm asking each morning are in a game. And it's out there on the resource table over to the left. And all the answers come from one of the other books about creation called A Closer Look at the Evidence God's Given Us. Now, you guys didn't get the first day's question right, and you didn't get the second day's question right. Let's see if most of you get today's question right. An octopus has no bones in its body, not a single bone. And God designed it to squeeze into tiny little spaces so it can hide. Some octopuses are 60 feet long. That's all the way from here to the back of this room, and their heads are as big as this. That's a big octopus. If octopus that big, how small of an opening do you think that octopus can get through? An opening 12 inches in diameter, about that big. An opening 6 inches in diameter, about that big. An opening 2 inches in diameter, about that big. Or an opening half an inch in diameter. Its whole head and its whole body, because it has no bones. How many think it has to be 12 inches in diameter for the octopus to get through? Raise your hand. The adults can vote too. Raise your hand if you think 12 inches. Okay? I see how many. How about 6 inches? How about this big? Okay, there's a few more of you, maybe 20 of you. How about 2 inches? How many think that big head can fit through 2 inches? Okay, we've got, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. About 80 of you. How about half an inch? How many think that big head can fit through half an inch? Back about 10. You guys got the right answer this time. 2 inches. This would be like shoving. Raise your hand if you're 8 years old. If you're 8 years old. That's the same as if you could take your whole body and shove it through something the size of a quarter. You couldn't do that, but God can do it with an octopus. The body of an octopus can be flattened almost as flat as a sheet of paper, and the only hard part is its hard little beak that it uses to bite up and eat food. Everything else can be squished as flat as paper, and God designed it that way. So those are just fun questions to ask with your kids and talk about them. Now we're going to talk about, where did life come from? And by the way, parents, these books are phenomenal for driving home the reality that these things couldn't have made themselves. So put them to use. Use them at mealtime. Read them to your children, because it's fascinating looking at what God has made. And everything out there that I have for resources to help you train up your children in a way that they will go so they won't walk away, everything on the table, beautiful hardcover books, they're $8 each, 3 for $25. So put them to use. Now, we have been trained as a culture to believe life just made itself. And it's not just the idea of evolution, it's the movies your children are constantly watching. They watch movies like Toy Story with all the aliens. And all these are aimed at young children. Star Wars movies. and movies about Echo, from things from outer space, and E.T., and Megamind, and Lilo Stitch, and Spider-Man, and Sonic, and Galaxy Quest, and Star Trek, and Home, and just there's literally hundreds of movies constantly pouring into your children's minds that aliens are really true. In the United States, because it's been happening over and over and over and over again, we're told this, 80% of the people living in our country believe that aliens exist, that they are real. Now, no one has ever seen an alien. It's all pretend. It's storytelling. It's made up adventures. They're not real. Nobody's ever filmed them. Nobody's ever seen one. Nobody's ever known that they could exist. They're just pretend. Why? Because people are trained to believe that life can make itself. Whenever you hear about alien, the idea is that somewhere out there in outer space, chemicals have come together and formed some sort of life. So we, as people who are looking for the truth, are going to look at that question. Could chemicals come alive? Could things that aren't alive come alive? You see, God made everything that's alive out of little living things called cells. And they're like really, really complicated machines. They have thousands of parts. And not even one of the complicated little parts that make up a cell, and the cells make up the parts of our body, not even one of the little parts could ever make itself. And I'm going to show you why as we go along. Now, here's kind of, I want you to get this idea in your mind, because we can't see cells. They're so small you need a microscope to see them. But I want you to think about a house. Think about the house as kind of like our body. Our body has all sorts of complicated things inside of it. A brain and a heart and our liver and our stomach and our skin and our eyeballs and our ears. They're all really complex. And each of those parts are like a little machine. And all the machines are put together to make our body. Well, that's like it is with a house. See, inside of a house, you have a door that opens up, and there's a key that has to be exactly the right shape to turn the lock to open the door. If the key is not the right shape, it's useless. It won't work. All of the parts that make up the cells that make up our body have to be exactly the right shape. There might be a clock inside of the house. Now, the clock is like a machine that's part of the house, but it has lots of parts, and each part, each little gear, has to be exactly the right shape in the right position, or the clock doesn't work. You might have a bookshelf with all these books. Well, each book has lots of information, and all the letters in each book has to be in exactly the right spot, or it's meaningless. There's a stove in your kitchen, which is a machine with lots of parts. There's a furnace that heats the house, which is a machine with lots of parts. And all the little machines are put together to make the great big machine, which is the house. That's the way it is with our body. Now, what we're going to do is look at this idea, could even a single cell, which is like a machine, one of the machines in our body, could it come apart? Because it also has a bunch of machines inside of the cell. It has like a library of information, like those books on the shelf. That's the DNA code. It has little furnaces that create energy and heat. It has like garbage disposals that destroy things that aren't any good and then send them outside of the cell. It's got a barrier like the walls of your house that let like the oxygen and the food come in through the door, and it lets just the right things in. And each of these parts is like a little machine. Now, I want to show you a really simple machine, and I want you to think, could this little, really simple machine ever make itself? Does anybody know what that is? A mousetrap. Help count with me, how many parts does it take to make a mousetrap? First of all, what's this thing at the bottom? It's kind of like a platform or a base. That's one part. Hold up one finger. Okay? Now what am I pointing at next? It's this thing that swings around and hits the mouse. It's called a hammer. Yeah, that's the hammer that's going to catch the mouse. That's two parts. Okay, now you have to hold that hammer back. Okay, because if it doesn't move forward, it won't catch the mouse. So there's a catch holding it back. How many parts is that? 3 parts. Now, what makes that hammer move forward? A spring. It's got to have a spring or it won't do anything. If it doesn't have a hammer, it won't catch the mouse. If it doesn't have a catch, the hammer won't stay back. If it doesn't have the spring, it won't move. And what are you going to put on there in order for the mouse to come and stand in the right spot? Cheese. You got to have a trap with bait. So if any of those parts are missing, nothing works. All of them have to be there, and all of them have to be in the right spot. Now, could that happen to form a cell? Now, we're going to do something with the kids here in just a second, but I've got a secret. Every single cell, every machine, every animal, every plant, every bacteria, everything that's alive, God made out of Lego blocks. Did you know that? We didn't invent Lego blocks. God invented Lego blocks. Except his Lego blocks have a fancy name called amino acids. And there's only 20 of them. God only has 20 different shaped blocks. And then he lines them up so they form just the right shape, like the shape of a key. Or they form just the right shape, like the shape of a gear. And like you saw that gear in the other day. And God uses the Lego blocks to line them up. So I want you to think, if you had a whole huge warehouse full of Lego blocks, wouldn't that be fun? But there were only 20 different kinds. Now you could use all those different Lego blocks to make a whole bunch of different things. For instance, I've got some things I've made out of my Lego blocks. We have 4 kids and I love playing with Lego blocks. We use them to make a sailing ship, which is kind of like 200 years ago, this was the best possible way to have transportation and move from one place to another across the earth. But now that's kind of a primitive form of transportation. Well, people who leave God out, they try to say life started out as real primitive life, and then it just randomly added parts and became more a complex life. Well, that would be like about 50 years ago, we started having really fast jet airplanes like this with space shuttles, and it would fly the space shuttle from place to place, and then it would shoot it up into space. It's a much better, faster form of transportation. But it still uses Lego blocks. Now, this one has a few parts that the ship didn't have. We had to get rid of some of the parts, like the sails and the cannons, and we had to add parts like windshields and jet engines. That's the way it is in life. You have ants, and you have fish, and you have birds, and you have dogs, and they're all made from the same Lego blocks, but the more complex ones are made from the same 20 little tiny microscopic parts, but they just suddenly appear when that animal appears. See, they were designed by people who designed these Legos. Now, and then let's pretend we have an even more advanced form of transportation. We have a Star Wars X-Wing fighter that can go in outer space and go super, super fast. Again, same Lego blocks with a few extra parts. And that's what God did. He takes these 20 little shapes, and he links them up so they fold and bend and twist to form just the right shape. Now, I need 2 volunteers, 1 boy and 1 girl. And I'm looking for, oh boy, I can't see who it was that asked, sorry. The young man that asked that had the green shirt on earlier, are you out there somewhere? You're not jumping up, so I'm just going to pick someone. Okay, right here in the front, the boy. Now I need a girl, and I'm going to go over here. This little girl here in the front. Okay, now you guys are going to see if you can build a Lego shape. Now, I have 20 different shapes in this box. I have long blocks, and then I have short little blocks, and I have a front that looks like this. There's only 20 different shapes. Now, I lined up these 20 shapes to make an airplane. See, that's okay. Okay, what do you think this is? A house, okay? Same 20 blocks, but now it doesn't look like an airplane, it looks like a house. Okay, now how can you think maybe what that looks like? Oh, okay, here, I'm missing one. This will give you a clue. What does that look like? A train or a truck? It's a truck with a face. What's a truck ride on? A road. So we've got a truck, a plane, a house, and a road. Now, do you guys think you could get in here and find the right blocks and build one of these? Maybe? Okay, I'm going to push this back, and I want you guys to come. One of you sit right here. You can come around. Okay, and the boy, what's your name?
Paul.
Paul, you sit over here. We're going to put the Legos right in between you. You sit right there. And you're both going to be able to reach the Legos. Now, I am missing something. Oh, my blindfolds. Where are my blindfolds? Rats. Oh, I forgot my blindfolds. Okay, you're just going to have to promise to close your eyes. Can you do that? Close your eyes and promise you won't open them? Can you promise you won't open them? You see, I'm going to rename you. Your name is now Evolution. Okay? And your name is Time and Chance. Now, Evolution can't see, and Evolution can't know what it's doing. So which one of these do you want to try to make? You want to try to make the plane, the house, the road, or the truck? Try a plane, okay? You put it right here on your lap. Which one do you want to try to make? The truck, the road, or the house? The truck. Okay, you can sit it right over here. Except Evolution also can't feel anything, so you have to put on this pair of gloves. Stick your hand in there. Okay, stick your hand in here. See, whoops, you probably need, put one on both hands. Okay. Okay, put this one on. Put this one on. Okay, now what you're going to do, you just keep working while I'm talking, because I'm going to show you guys what the little Lego blocks God made looks like. And while I'm showing you God's Lego blocks, these guys with their eyes shut, they're going to reach in and grab a piece, and as soon as they touch it, they got to use it, and then they're going to grab another piece, and they're going to start putting it together, and you're going to try to make it look like an airplane, and you're going to try to make it look like a house. Okay, as soon as you put it together, you got to leave it, and then grab another piece. Okay, your eyes have got to be shut the whole time, and try to remember what you're trying to make, and then try to make it with your eyes shut and just sticking a piece together. And then we'll see how close you got when we're done. Okay, you just keep working on it. You can watch them while you're listening. So they are going to be Evolution and Blind Chance trying to create a little machine that might help work inside of a cell. Now let me show you what God's chemicals look like. See, God takes these little things, and I just used beads as an example, and there's 20 different colors. And God puts them in just the right order, so as they come together, they start to bend and twist and fold and form a perfect shape, like a gear, or like a little key, or like a little motor, or something that's going to happen. Except God doesn't just have, he has 20 of them, and then when he links them all together, they're called proteins. Now, every part of our body is made out of some sort of a protein where these amino acids are linked up. Let me show you what one of God's proteins looks like. Okay, that is one protein, which would be one little part of the machine. Like when God puts them all together, and every single bead, every single Lego block has to be in exactly the right spot. If there's one of them wrong, this whole thing won't bend and twist and fold and form the right shape, and then it won't work. Now, it is impossible for even one of these proteins to form all by itself. Even the parts of life can't make themselves. There's too many combinations. You would never get it right. Okay, let's see how our little Evolution and Blind Chance people are coming. Still got your eyes shut? Okay, we're going to stop. Okay, now let's open up. Okay, let's compare this one with that one. Does that look like this? Is it close? No, so it would never work. You see, Blind Chance and Evolution can't even make the parts that are needed to make life. It could never happen. Let's see how the airplane's coming. Okay, the airplane's a little better, but it's got to be perfect. Imagine going up in an airplane where one of the wings is shorter than the other wing, or it doesn't have a cockpit, or it doesn't have a tail, so it can't steer. It would crash. It would never work. See, you guys did great as Evolution and Blind Chance. But remember, only God can make the parts that are needed to make life work. Okay, thank you so much. Whoop, okay, just put the signs in there. All right, so that's looking at the parts of life, trying to make the house or a road or a plane or a truck. It would never work unless it's been designed by God, because every single part of a Lego block, and I've done this, I've been following the Lego block directions, I bet you have too, and you go through step 2 and step 3 and step 4 and step 12 and step 20, and all of a sudden things aren't fitting together right. And you realize, oh, way back at step 10, I put one of the pieces in the wrong spot. See, it just doesn't, and that's when you have the instructions given to you. If you make a mistake, it still doesn't work. So we know we're being lied to when we're told life could just pop into existence all by itself. It could never, ever, ever happen. And we want you to remember these things. Now I want to show you a really amazing little microscopic creature that God made. It's a bacteria. You need a microscope to see it. And they just discovered this bacteria about 10 years ago. And they discovered it way down in the rock layers where supposedly life was just getting started here on Earth. Now, all that is fantasy. No scientist has a time machine. They just pretend that hundreds of millions of years ago, chemicals came together to form life. Well, let me show you this little bacteria. They found it as a fossil, and they started studying it, and they were just absolutely amazed what they found. Here's a little movie of what scientists figured out it looked like. It's a little bacteria, and at the back of this bacteria, there are 7 perfect little purple gears. Now, each of those gears are there because God lined up all the Lego blocks to form it so it would form that perfect size and shape of gear. And around the purple gears, there's 21 little green gears that are just in the perfect position so that when one of the purple gears moves, all of the gears move in the same direction at the same speed, and they're attached to like a little hair called a flagellum, and they all spin as much as 20,000 rotations every minute, and they can stop in a quarter rotation in reverse direction, and it forms a propeller so that the little bacteria can swim around looking for food. Now, I want you to think about that, because scientists were really intrigued, and they thought, how does that little bacteria make that propeller spin? How does it make the gears turn? It's just a little bacteria. And they spent 10 years and about $10 million with teams of scientists trying to figure out what makes those gears turn. And behind each gear, they found a little electric motor. Now, this motor, they figured out, how does that work? That motor has 40 parts. You know, you only had 20 different parts that you needed to make the Lego blocks, but each of those 40 parts are made from a protein. So the proteins are made from 20 different colored beads. And then the beads are lined up, a whole bunch of them. There's about 4,000 of them here. Some proteins has 40,000 beads. But then they get lined up so that they turn to have exactly the right shape to work inside the motor. And it's just like the motors that turn the fans that you see. They've got to create a positive charge and a negative charge, and they have to have a shaft, and they have to have seals, and they've got to have rotors and stators, and they've got to be attached to the little long hair. And if any part of an electric motor is missing, it won't work. So all of them have to be there, and they all have to be at once. And we've never even been able to explain how even one of the parts could ever have made itself. See, God does this so we'll know He exists. See, nobody who's being honest could look at that motor or could look at the motor on a fan and they say, well, I just believe it made itself. It just one day, somebody came and kicked some pieces of metal and they shook some things and all of a sudden that motor appeared. You would think that person was crazy. And yet that's what all the people around us are being told and taught. Why? Because the world wants to leave God out of their thinking. They want to try to pretend the impossible is true because they refuse to acknowledge God has done miraculous things. He has created life, and He's told us He's done that. Now, we're going to end by doing an experiment. And this is my favorite experiment. It's called the magic can of evolution. And what I have is a can, and I didn't want to put something that was alive in here, so I'm going to dump everything out of it. And what I have inside is a little frog. I mean, it's a little green frog with a nose and a mouth that's open. And this one's already formed. He's already shaped like a frog. But I thought, well, I wonder if I started out with a bunch of parts, like I'm going to cut his fingers off, okay? Okay, I just put all the little froggy fingers inside of there. Now I'm going to cut his arm off. I just put one frog arm in, and now I've got 2 frog arms in there. And I'm going to cut his feet off, and cut this foot off. Let's see. Oh man, he's got a heart. I must be cutting through the bone. Okay, there we go. So now he's in lots of pieces. Okay, I've got a whole bunch of frog pieces in my can. Okay, do you think it'll turn back into a frog if I just shake it? How about if I spin it? How about if I just shake it for like 100 years? Well, I know. I probably need a whole bunch of energy. So where is, oh, I am just missing things right and left today. I've got a firecracker, but I got no way to light it. Oh, did it fall on the floor? Did you see it down here? I'm looking around, Oh, thank you. I almost didn't get to do our experiment. So I have a firecracker, so we're going to have a bunch of energy all at once. I bet that's the key. So I'm going to kind of balance it right there. I'm going to light it. Here we go. I love science. Here we go. We're going to add a bunch of energy. Oh. Okay, we'll try it again. I got another one. Okay, we'll try it again. Boom! You'll never guess what happened. There's the froggies all back together again. What do you think of that? Do you think that really happened? No! Because just random chance and energy and evolution, they can't make things better. They can't make things appear. See, the frog parts are still in there. So never forget that. When you hear about aliens and life making itself and evolution, it's just a story, but when we test it, we know it's not true. So I hope you enjoyed today, and tomorrow we're going to talk about dinosaurs and fossils and all sorts of cool stuff like that. All right, thank you.
All right. Well, that was great. Well, we're looking forward to tomorrow. Don't miss about dinosaurs tomorrow, and make sure you bring friends. That'll be a great day. All right, as we conclude, all of the adults, you are dismissed now to your workshops. So if you would like to get a head start before the